How's it going, guys? This is Brad.
And this is Mary.
And welcome to Fitness Tested.
This week we are testing the new Saucony Ride 16.
So this shoe hasn't gotten a tremendous amount of updates between the 15 and the 16, which was a significant leap forward from the version 14, version 13, version 12, all the way down.
Yeah, so the shoes have not changed weight at all. Women's is still going to be 7.8 ounces. Men's is still going to be 8.8 ounces for those generic sizes. So not much has changed there on size. We can say that the upper has changed a little bit, and we'll kind of jump into that later. Other specs, it still has an 8mm drop, so it's still in that nice Goldilocks range, not too high, not too low. And it's still using the same Power Run foam. It even looks very similar to how it was previously. So those are kind of the main specs on this shoe. Again, it didn't really change too much. We did have some pretty crazy opinions on it when putting it on. Brad and I did not have the same ideas, but we'll kind of jump into that next.
So the thing that I noticed first off, putting because I did put version 15 and version 16 on at the same time, so I did 1 foot one and 1 foot the other. The thing that I noticed the most, and something that did come up on Saucony's website, is the higher sidewall. Now, when I'm talking the sidewall, I'm talking just this part right on the inside, right through here. This is a neutral category shoe. So it does not have that traditional posting that you get, or, you know, like the guide rails like Brooks has. But what I noticed putting on 16 compared to 15 was the inside of the foot did come up a little bit higher. Now, I'm not a person who traditionally likes something that is in the arch. I did notice that this one does feel like it comes up into the arch a little bit more than version 15. Realistically, midsole hasn't changed much. I wasn't a huge fan of the way that it kind of pulled up into the arch. Again, I have a Princess and the Pea kind of foot. Like, if it's something feels like it's in the arch, I'm gonna notice it right away. And that's something I noticed very, very quickly. But I didn't think it was a bad fit. I just felt like I noticed that a lot more.
For sure. So when I put it on, I hardly could tell any difference between the two of them. And so since we are running low on Saucony Ride 15s, I had to put on a women's 10.5 wide and compare it to the new Ride 16 10.5 regular width. And I'm not gonna lie, I put it on and I could barely tell any difference, even with the width. So I do not have that same dainty, delicate, sensitive foot that Brad has. But I do want to say that I think I can tell some differences. Obviously, I could tell it was a little bit wider through the heel cup. I actually really like this shoe. I thought it felt better with the upper. I think the tongue has a bit more padding here. It's a little bit more plush without feeling too heavy or bulky or hot. I think that's the main difference with the upper here. I feel like the upper, you can kind of see it has some different design going on the midfoot here. It almost looks like there's kind of a protective kind of plastic of some kind or nylon that's sitting over the top of the shoe. And I think both of us agree that there's just more material on top of this shoe.
One thing that we did notice, and if you watched our video on the Saucony guide, one of the things that Saucony did with the Ride this time as well, Nike used to have this technology called the Flywire. They have it in some of their other shoes. Basically what it does is it tries to lock in the foot a little bit more, and you can kind of see it right through here where this connects to the laces, and then it connects underneath the foot. Now, if you watched our Saucony guide video, you remember that was one of the things that Seth noticed, was the fact that it felt like it locked in the foot a little bit more.
For sure. And I would say if you haven't worn a Saucony and you tend to have a narrow heel or in a wider forefoot, or you like having a little bit more room in the toe box, I would say try on a pair of Sauconys and see how they feel for you. I am someone who has a notoriously narrow heel, and I've always had lots of luck with Saucony. So jumping into price point on this shoe, it hasn't changed. It's still at $140. So again, it's pretty comparable with other mid-cushion shoes in that same range. So I would say definitely a good price point. Saucony is also pretty notorious for being very lightweight. So if you like a shoe that kind of feels like it's not there, or you like something that's has a little bit more flex to it, that is kind of a characteristic of Saucony. They're slightly more flexible and they are very lightweight. I would say give it a try, see what you think.
So we do have these available online and at all 3 of our current locations. These will be available starting now. So come on in. Version 15 for those that we have left will be on sale. Pretty excited about version 16. Again, it hasn't changed a lot.
It's the same old shoe, so if you were a fan of the 15 or you were a big Saucony fan, I would say this would be a great shoe to add to your collection.
Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and that way you can keep up to date on all of our newest and latest and greatest videos.
Like,
Woo!